If D is the centroid of triangle PQR, PA equals 17, BD equals 9, DQ equals 14, and we're going to find each measure. First of all, we need to know exactly what centroid means. But first we got to know what median is. Median is a line segment from the midpoint to the vertex in a triangle. And so we would call this the midpoint, or excuse me, the median, because it is a line segment from the midpoint to the vertex. Now, a centroid is the intersect point of the medians. And so if I draw other medians in this triangle, this is what it would look like. And so the centroid is actually right here. Now, let's look at the properties of the centroid. So I'm going to choose specifically this line so that we would know how to use the properties of the centroid. So one of the properties to look at is that if I have AC, it is going to be twice the length of CB. So this length right here is twice the length of CB. So in other words, if I have CB to be the length of 4, then AC is twice the length of CB, and so 4 times 2 is 8. Therefore, AC is 8. And it still works the same thing this way. If I've got CB right here, then CB is going to be half the length of AC. And so if this is 8 and we divide by 2, then CB is going to be 4. Another property of the centroids is that CB is 1/3 the length of this whole line of AB. Same thing with AC. This length right here is 2/3 of AB. Now, if I was to go ahead and use the previous example for CB to be the length of 4 right here, and we said that AC is twice the length, well, I'm going to go ahead and split it up even more, where I'm going to say, okay, well, this length is also 4, and this length is also 4, making AC to be the length of 8. And you notice that this whole line right here is split into thirds. And so that's the CB is 1/3 of this total length of AB. AC is 2/3 the length of this whole line right here. So I can pull it down so that you can see it a little bit better. And so just like I had said, was that if this length is 4, if this length is 4, and we split this up into 4s as well, see how AC is 1/3, 2/3 of this total length of the line here. See how CB is 1/3 the length of this total line here. So now that we know the definitions, we're going to go ahead and work on this problem. It says if D's the centroid of triangle PQR, where PA is 17, BD is 9, and DQ, Dairy Queen, is 14. So here we go. PA is 17, BD is 9, and DQ is 14. And so we're going to go ahead and use the properties of the centroid. Remember the definition of the centroid. So if D is the centroid, then that means that this median right here this is the midpoint and this is the vertex. So centroid is the intersection of the median. So if A is the midpoint, then we would have this length to be 17 and this length to also be 17. If we look at BD, so this length right here is going to be half the length of this. So if we want to find out the length of this line right here, it's going to be twice or 2 times 9, which is 18. And the Dairy Queen here is 14. And so if we need to find out this length, it's half of 14, which is 7. And so now it looks like we're ready to go ahead and answer the question. So we need to figure out the length of AR. Well, we already have it identified right here to be 17. And PR is this total length right here. So we have a length of 17 here plus another length of 17. So we add 17 plus 17 to get 34. And DR is already specified right here to be 18. BR is going to be the length of 9 plus the length of 18, making the total length to be 27, 9 plus 18. Next is AD, which we've already have it specified here to be the length of 7. And finally, the length of AQ. So here is AQ right here. We have a length of 7 and a length of 14, and 7 plus 14 is 21.